Well, welcome all and thank you for tuning in. I'm your buddy John and you're watching Cinemaniac Reviews.
You talking to me?
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
E.T. home from...
No. I am your father.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Before I get ahead of myself, I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. And if you can, please like and subscribe to my channel. Only helps it grow. And this is my very first video, so pardon anything that might come off as weird because this is how you learn. This is how anybody learns, and I'm dipping my toes in the water, so to speak. So let's see where we go from here. I wanted to start this channel off, like I mentioned, discussing movies, television shows, video games, comics, and you can't see it now, but I do have a very eclectic collection of Star Wars merchandise. If you couldn't tell, I love Star Wars. Didn't always turn out that way. I loved it when I was a kid, but it was because of the pandemic that kind of caused me to go down a rabbit hole I didn't know I was going into. But I'll save that for another video. For today, I wanted to discuss a movie I recently just saw, and that is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So before I get too ahead of myself, I wanted to just mention that I'm going into this review as more of a spectator and not so much someone that has devoted too much of my time in the realm of Indiana Jones. I watched the films when I was younger and I rewatched them again, and I love Harrison Ford, and I can see why some people might be thrown off by the films just because of the lack of story, but where the story suffers, you have the adventure. And I've heard from numerous people that you don't have either in the newest one. And I'm here to tell you that I kind of enjoyed it. Main reason is just because I have started appreciating Harrison Ford a lot more as he's gotten older, in roles like the Shrinking and also, goodness, I'm blanking on one of his other films, or TV shows, but he's a presence more now than ever, and I'm here for it. And that was the exact same way I felt for this movie. He carried it as he should. Did they have certain choices that happened in the film that maybe shouldn't have happened? Sure. But most of my problems stemmed from the second act of the film. That was really where it dragged a bit. I know that most Indiana films, I want to say maybe aside from the first film, do tend to drag for me a little bit, and I thought I was the only one, but there are people like my wife and a few friends of mine do feel the same way, that there are a few Indiana Jones films that maybe feel a little bit longer than they should. This one was, again, no exception. It does have kind of a drawn out second act, but I do feel like by the end of the film, it did what it needed to do, and it gave you a compelling enough story. Now, was it compelling enough for it to be the final Indiana Jones film? I'll leave that up to you, because I do think that is a matter of opinion, because for someone that was really, really hoping for like a final hurrah, they might not have been as excited for this one. Whereas for me, I just went in for completely just looking for a good movie, and I thought I was entertained. I might be in the minority, and I hope I'm not, but I thought it was good. I I want this to be as casual as possible, so please let me know your comments down below of what you thought of the film, what you thought could have been better, what you thought was pretty well. I know the new relationship, I'm forgetting the actress's name, was it Phoebe Waller-Bridge? Her relationship with Indiana Jones could have been fleshed out just a little bit more. I found myself not caring as much between them, and her her companion that kind of acts like Short Round, you know, from the Temple of Doom, was fine. It would have been nice to see that actor reprise his role in this one, just because I think that would have been a pretty sweet send-off. But alas, I think this film was cast and the story was created before his recent rise to fame, which is a shame. But still, I think it was okay. Other than that, I will say that I probably won't watch it again. I thought it was fine, but I still think the first two Indiana Jones films, Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom, have the most rewatchability out of all the 5 films. This one was good, but I don't see it. I don't see it being people's favorite. I will say I don't do reviews in a point system or letter grades, but I will say that if you have the opportunity, see it in the movie theater. If not, check it out. I'm not going to say don't ever see this film, because if you like Indiana Jones, if you like adventure, just see it. Again, guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. Please, again, remember, like and subscribe. It helps my channel grow. This was my very first video, so I apologize if it wasn't structured the way that most are on YouTube, but bear with me. I will get better at this. And I will have a few more interesting videos coming soon. Might be Star Wars related, if you couldn't tell. Oh, and before I forget, if you were wondering about this Mandalorian behind me, it's actually a mannequin holding up my my Mandalorian cosplay that I spent over the last 2 years putting together. I will have another video specifically for that, because that was a project in its own, and I'm so happy to be done with it. I wore it in the Texas Heat for one of the fan expos. Oh boy, that was an adventure. I will talk more about that soon. But until then, thanks and have a good day.